Hello and welcome to the Gunning for Glory YouTube channel. I'm your host, Niall McKiernan, and we have a lot of topics to cover. We're going to start off with a bit of transfer news, with one big departure from the club and potentially one big transfer on the way into the club. It's all really been confirmed, and I'll get into that. I'll also go through Arsenal's shambolic performance against Southampton yesterday in the FA Cup, and I looked ahead to the Premier League game against Southampton in Southampton on Tuesday. Let's get into it. So we'll start off with the news that it was confirmed today on the club's social media sites that Mesut Ozil has completed his transfer to Fenerbache. The playmaker, who's been with us now for, I think it's 9 years now, which is a long time, but he has been with us for 9 years. I'm kind of sorry you had to end this way with him, but at the end of the day, good riddance to him. It's 350k off the wage bill. He wasn't very good for us towards the end, and let's not forget, Arteta did play him for 14 games in a row and he didn't play well. Let's just get that out there. He did not play well. And when he wasn't breaking into the team, he didn't say... What he should have done, is he should have worked his way back into the team. He should have grinded in training and then worked his way back into the team. Instead, he had a rant on Twitter. That's really it. That's how it ended. I'm sorry it's ended this way, but as I say, good riddance, best of luck to him on all that. But now we move on to the big news that Martin Odegaard is currently travelling to London, according to many sources, to complete his move to Arsenal. And honestly, I'm very, very excited because, out with one playmaker, in with another. Now, the move is supposed to be just on loan, but I hope we keep him. Now, in terms of where he'll fit into the team, I suppose Emile Smith-Rowe may suffer here because Martin Odegaard is a fantastic player, as we know, but I'd say Martin Odegaard might just be coming in for Emile Smith-Rowe to have a bit of competition for the place of just centre attacking midfielder, or perhaps he could play a little further back, because obviously we're losing Dani Ceballos in the summer to Real Madrid because he's coming obviously on loan. It's an interesting one, but I do hope they use him to the best of his ability. I do hope they keep him first of all at the end of the season, but because he looks like a sensational player, and it's going to be a big signing when it is confirmed, because really Sky Sports, everyone is saying now that Martin Odegaard is going to be an Arsenal player until the end of the season at least. Hopefully he'll sign a permanent deal, and yeah, hopefully that's... We live in hope, boys. We live in hope. Obviously, Matt Ryan signed as well. He was on the bench yesterday at the FA Cup. I don't expect him to get his chance anytime soon. Maybe in the Europa League he might get playing. I do feel sorry for Alex Runarsson, but then again, his performances haven't been great, so we do need a backup goalkeeper, and he is still very young as well. Obviously, with Matt Macy leaving the club as well, so we do have 3 goalkeepers right now. And even if Matt Ryan doesn't play, I presume he's going to sign permanently as well. Now we move on to that performance in the FA Cup. I'm gonna rant. I'm gonna go through performances player by player and just outline some things that I thought were just wrong, and there were a lot of them. So this is going to be a long ass clip. So yeah, fasten your seatbelts, Arsenal fans. This is going to be a bumpy ride. We'll go through each player rating that I have out of 10. We'll work from the goalkeeper all the way to the forwards, and then obviously with the 3 subs that we made as well. Now I'll start off with Bernd Leno, and I'll just say I felt very sorry for him with the goal. The goal was a deflection of Gabriel, and it was intended for a cross. I don't care what Kyle Walker-Peters has to say about it. It was an intended cross, and yeah, look, it was a disappointing goal to concede for us, but I don't blame Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno actually made some fantastic saves and kept us in the game at times. So, fair play to him, and I'd give him a 6.5 just based on the fact that we did lose the game at the end of the day. And it was an overall solid performance, but the loss kind of just defeats the point of really giving him a 7 or an 8 I suppose. So 6.5 for me for Bernd Leno. Moving on to left back, it was actually Cedric playing there, which first of all was a terrible decision in my opinion. Cedric is a right back, so why don't you play Ainsley Maitland-Niles? I know Ainsley Maitland-Niles wasn't great against who is it? Was it Palace? Was it Palace? It was Palace, wasn't it? Yeah, against Crystal Palace. I know he gave the ball away a certain number of times, which was terrible, but you must have a left back that can play left back. Cedric can't play left back because he was crossing the ball with his right foot. He was doing these crosses on the edge of the box instead of going down into the wing where Tierney always puts his crosses in, and that's where Tierney is most effective with those crosses, and we're getting goals from them crosses. And Cedric, yeah, look, he tried and he had a good first half, but overall it was just it wasn't a good performance, so I'll give him a 5, which is probably generous. Next is Gabriel, and look, I'm not going to judge him too hardly because it was his first game back since having COVID, but he should have been, if he isn't match fit, and clearly he wasn't sharp, he shouldn't be playing. That's there's no excuse for that. There really is no excuse. You have David Luiz on the bench, and David Luiz, I know who at times has been questionable at times when he in his defending, but Gabriel just wasn't at the races, and it was clear to see, even from the warm up as well, he just didn't look sharp. Mikel Arteta, got that one wrong. In terms of his defending, yeah, it was sluggish at times. He did make a couple of, defensive wise he was okay at times, but the goal as well with the deflection, it was just too easy. So he gets a 4 from me because he wasn't sharp at all. Rob Holding gets the same because I think at times he got out strength out lost strength balance with the likes of Che Adams. And you as a centre back you can't be losing any strength balance. It just can't happen. So that's a 4 for Holding. Moving on to Hector Bellerin, he wasn't great again. And look, he was probably the best defender that we had at times. His crossing was decent, and he was, some of his link-up play with some of the forwards was excellent. But overall, it was an average enough performance, so I'm going to give him a 6 for Bellerin. Moving on to the midfield, we've Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka, I think, now, correct me if I'm wrong, in terms of player who started outfield, I think he was our best player. Because he was defensively good, his link-up play was good, he didn't give the ball away that many times, he maybe given it away once or twice, but he was always when he had the ball, you felt safe. And that's his season summed up, really, because he's been absolutely brilliant for us this season, in my opinion, anyway. He's definitely been one of the standout stars. So for him, he gets a 7, I suppose, because, he was pretty decent. Mohamed El Neni, I feel so bad for him because he came in and he was fantastic in the Community Shield at the start of the year. Excuse me. And he just has gone downhill from there. And yesterday was no different. So I'm going to give him a 5 because he wasn't at the races today, and most of the team weren't. Moving on, we go on to the left wing, and Gabriel Martinelli actually started on the left, and I thought he was actually pretty good. He only played for 50 minutes, which I found very frustrating because he was playing so well. And now I understand they brought on Bukayo Saka for him, and they wanted to bring some, fresh legs onto that wing. Why not take off Pepe or Willian, who were absolutely abysmal? I don't get it. I really don't get it for Mikel Arteta. I really don't get that sub for Mikel Arteta, but that's that, I suppose. So moving on, I'm going to give Gabriel Martinelli a 6.5 because although he played well, he only played for 55 minutes. So you can't really judge a performance off that. Now we move on to Willian. Without a doubt, possibly the worst signing Arsenal has made in the past 3 years, and this lad has had. I checked the stats actually. He's had 2 shots in 12 games. 2 shots in 12 games as an attacking player. That's a joke. His only half decent game for us was against Fulham in the opening weekend, of the Premier League. That can't run. It just can't run. You know what? Giving him 3 would be an overstatement. I'm going to give him 3 because any time he got on the ball, he either A, slowed it down, B, gave it away, or C, just didn't help us in any way. I can't remember a single moment in that game where Willian contributed to playing, or just to bettering kind of our chances of scoring. I can't recall. If you can, put it in the comments. I mean, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But anyway, yeah. Moving on to Pepe. Look, we know the situation with Pepe. He's been a flop. Now I know, I said Willian was the worst sign. Pepe is definitely up there as well. He's our club record signing, 72 million quid, and he's flopped. Let's be honest. He's had blips of decent games, but he wasn't good. He wasn't great yesterday. He really wasn't. First half he was completely out of it. I thought towards the end he was okay. He did look kind of sharp. The free kick at the end was just so selfish. I mean, he could have easily just crossed it and put driven, got past a couple of Southampton men. He may have worked his way into the goal. But yeah, no, the decision making wasn't great. I'm going to give him a 5. Now Eddie Nketiah, I don't understand why Mikel Arteta insists on playing Eddie Nketiah. I don't get it. He was terrible as a poacher. really, as like a goal, as like, what's the word that they use, like for lads who stand beside the goal? I can't think of it. Goal hanger. That's what they call him. So like as a goal hanger type striker, and he was playing very deep at times, and he was just not making the right runs at times. It wasn't working. Now again, I do feel sorry for Eddie Nketiah because he is still quite young, and he's been given a lot of pressure just being a lone striker up there with Willian and fucking Pepe as backup. It doesn't make sense. And yeah, that's my rate. I suppose I give him a 5. And the 3 subs we brought on were Thomas Partey, Alex Lacazette, and Bukayo Saka. All 3 of them made an impact, and all 3 of them are going to get a 7 from me because they were brilliant. You know, Lacazette's link-up play was brilliant. Bukayo Saka, you know, is just a fantastic presence to have in there when you need a goal, and he's been absolutely brilliant for us. Even in our dark times when we weren't winning games, I still think he was one of the best players on the pitch at times. Yeah, so Bukayo Saka gets a 7. Onto Lacazette, you know, his link-up play was brilliant. He didn't get, you know, as much time the ball as he wanted, but he definitely brought that kind of spark to our attacking play. Thomas Partey, this man is astounding, and I think he's going to go down as one of our best signings. You know, if we keep him fit, if he keeps in that kind of form, you know, his defensive work was brilliant. Some of his close control was, you swear you were watching prime Barcelona with some of his close control. It was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, and now looking at the tactics, you know, I don't understand playing Willian all the time. You know, Arteta, you know, you can put that down to Arteta, fair enough, you know, his selection. But, you know, Willian is an established player. He's an established, you know, good player in the Premier League. So why isn't he playing well now? I don't know. You know, could it be down to Arteta? It could be. I don't want to put the blame on Arteta because he has, you know, had some brilliant results, and I do think he's the man for the job, but he needs a better team. You know, there needs to, you know, you could say all you want, oh, we bet Chelsea 3-1, fine. We bet Man United, who are top of the league now, 1-0. You know, but we still need to sign players. We still need to sign lots of players, and as he said, it's not going to be an overnight success. You're going to have to trust the process. Arsenal, the board kind of do seem to be trusting the process, and I'll trust the process for as long as I can, because I do like Mikel Arteta as a manager, and just as a human being, and just the fact that he takes no crap from anyone, as we saw with Mesut Ozil being kicked out of the team for not performing. Pretty much, that's it. And yeah, so that's it for Gunning for Glory. And obviously we're playing Southampton again. Oh god, yep, it's gonna be I'm gonna be optimistic again, and I'm gonna say 2-1 Arsenal. Okay, we're gonna concede. That's a given with Danny Ings and Che Adams up front. But I think we're gonna win. We're gonna win 2-1. Smith Rowe will be back in the team. Hopefully Martin Odegaard will be in the team by that stage as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Gunning for Glory. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe and share the video to your fellow Arsenal fans so I can get their opinion. Leave comments down below of some of your opinions on the signing of Martin Odegaard, and obviously the departure of Mesut Ozil as well. And of course the signing of Matt Ryan as well. What do you think of that? I'd be intrigued actually to know how you feel about that, and obviously your thoughts on this awful performance on the weekend, and obviously looking ahead to playing them once again on Tuesday. I'll be back midweek with a review of that game, and hopefully I'll be glad to say that Martin